question, can you quickly step forward so that we pick like 2-3 questions, then we answer them? Okay. There is a first question here. Yes. And probably you can direct who you want to answer your question. Sound. If you have a question, let's be snappy because this is the last thing we are doing, then we can close. Okay, please, you can take mine and ask, then I can take.
Okay, thank you. My name is Anthony Juan, and a teacher in Islamic Senior High. Please, my question goes to Mr. Boabin. I have 3 questions. 1, sir, you are a successful CEO. What really motivated you to do what you are doing? 2, in pursuing your dream, what were the biggest challenge you encountered and how did you overcome it? 3, in the near future, what are your biggest fear for the upcoming youth? Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity. I'm Kumara Amatengalba from Islamic Senior High School. And my question goes to, please, this madam sitting here.
Which of them?
The one with the phone.
Okay, Lady George.
Okay. Please, you were talking about your daughter. So when she first approached you and she said she wanted to do those, the photography, were you having a fear that she wouldn't get to the highest extent? And second, please, what's her name?
Okay. So let's take the questions, then they can answer. Let's take all the batches. Please, if you can hold on, let's finish this batch. Go ahead.
My name is Yakubu Khadija and I'm from Hatop JHS. Madam, please, I don't know the one who taught us this question, but I want to ask this. What is the meaning of consumer needs?
Did anyone mention consumer needs?
Yes.
Which of them?
I can't remember, but...
You were not seeing the person's face.
No. The first person who came here.
The first person. No, that should be Delex Finance. Okay, so they are outside. You can get to their decks and ask them. Okay, thank you.
My name is Mankula Latifa, a proud student of Dabapa Technical Institute. Please, the question I want to ask is, as we young people, what can we do or how can we do to make our handicapped people become useful citizens?
Okay, who is your question directed to? Or is it 3 questions? Any of them can answer.
Yes, please.
Okay, next. I hope you are remembering the question.
My name is
okay, so you take
Francis.
that one, Marvin.
I'm a student from the Dabapa Technical Institute. Please, Maran wearing in black. He said, I can...
Lady George, you. It's purple, not black. Go ahead. Go ahead.
She said when you use AI to answer questions, they have AI detector to
Please
detect
silence. So you people were not listening to their names. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
She said when you use AI to answer questions, they will use the AI detector to detect it.
Yes.
In our course, we have a course called electronics. And electronics, we have a topic called measurements. In that topic, they say calibration of multimeter. In that note, they will not they don't write the answers there.
Okay.
They just write understand for you to understand it. And exam when they ask us, we should define the calibration of multimeter.
Please silence. If you can speak louder, we don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
So what is your question? Go straight to your question.
Like when you don't use the question AI, when you use it and chew it and come and write it, when they detect it, they will mark it or they will mark it.
That one there is to the Wayik people. Okay. Thank you. Next person. Okay, I think let's hold on. Let's let our speakers answer this set of questions. Then we'll come back. So Rashid, just hold on for us. So JB.
Can we calm down?
Please, can we calm down? This is the last thing we are doing, then we are good to go.
Hello? Hello? We are closing the summit very soon. So please, let's keep silence in the hall. Then we can finish this segment very quickly. All right. If I recall, the first questioner asked the question about what inspired me to do what I'm doing. I think there's a number of things. Number one, I believe that God invested some gifts and abilities in me. I became conscious of that very early, around age 10 or 11. So all I've been trying to do over the course of my life is to unleash the gifts that God has given me. So that's one. Two, I'm trying to solve Ghana's problems. I know I will not be able to do everything, but I'm trying to do those that my gifts can solve. So I'm concerned about Ghana being transformed. And then three, I'm just trying to be a faithful servant. He's sent me on an assignment. I want to fulfill that assignment. So that's what inspires me. I've forgotten his second question, but I remember his third question. Okay.
I think the challenges and how you overcome it. The challenges you have faced and how you overcame those challenges.
Okay, all right. There are so many challenges. I mean, in my life, I've done about 5 or 6 different things. Building a career as a professional speaker, starting my publishing company, starting a marketing agency, starting a training and consulting company, starting a restaurant. So there have been so many challenges. But I think that the biggest challenge for a lot of us is ourselves. Dealing with ourselves. Dealing with our weaknesses. Dealing with our failures. Dealing with our inadequacies. Dealing with our mindset. Dealing with our attitudes. So your biggest challenge in your journey to become that which you believe God has called you to become is dealing with yourself. So that would be my biggest challenge. And all I've tried to do is to listen to feedback, study and acquire wisdom, pray about it, read the Bible, get mentorship, get coaching, all to help me become a strong master of myself. So that's what I would say. The third question was, what is my fear for the youth? I think it's impatience. It's impatience. We are in a hurry to display success without acquiring skill, without developing ourselves, without going through the rigor of time and process. That's my greatest fear. That young people should understand that it takes time to develop yourself, time to acquire skills, time to acquire expertise, time to acquire experience before you start showing signs of success. So that will be my answer.
Okay. I'm getting a lot of noise and feedback. Please, can we be a bit silent so that it makes it easier for the answers to come? Yes. Okay. I think there was a second question. Yeah, to Lady George. Okay.
So the question about my daughter and when she said she wants to do photography. So we've spoken about people doing different things, having different interests, talents, unlocking your potential and all that. So, every child plays with things. Some will be drawing, some will be, I have one who I called healing hands. When she massages you, you would think you've gone to a massage center. One is always drawing. So every one of us have different gifts. But the one who does photography, yes, so she loved doing photography, but she said she wanted a real camera. Okay, so, and at a time, I remember cameras, even now, cameras are expensive. So I got a friend from outside, and I said, can you check on getting a camera? Then I spoke to someone that I know. Then the person gave her a camera as a gift. So then she had a tool. So what she was doing was, wherever she went, she would go with the camera. So your question is, was I worried that it will not make her focus? I saw it as one of the potentials she has, which is the potential of, taking pictures, collecting memories. you know, so and I saw that she was probably interested in communications. So when she's going to school, she requested to send her camera to school. So for the schools that she attended, right from JHS, we would ask the teachers if she's allowed to bring them, not to school every day, but when they have occasions. There are pictures that she took, even at the time that she was in GSS2. I remember there are some that they framed and put in their library because they were very distinct, you know, pictures. So to get her to focus, it's just, you know, just encouraging her to focus on her studies. But we also saw the photography as an additional skill for her that she needed to grow. So what we do is that anytime there are photography sessions, so the Joy FM thing I talk about, there was a photography session and we asked her to enter. The age was 18. She was, I think, 14 then. But she did a call herself, they interviewed her, and they saw that she was matured enough to do it, and they allowed her to do it. She went on to do her internship with Joy FM, covering, you know, at the time as a child photographer. But we still insist that she has to go through her education. Okay, her name is Eyuram. She likes setting up for people. She herself is not very active on social media. She will set up for people, but she's not very present there. So I can't remember. I know she uses Erama J. You can look for Erama J on Instagram, but she's Eyuram.
Okay, Marvin.
And then the thing about the AI quickly is, so AI, artificial intelligence, is used for different things. But for those of us who are always working, researching, you use it for your research. For students, I think you can use it for your research to study different things. So for example, if you Googled what's AI, it will give you the prompts. So what you feed it is what it brings to you. But most importantly, like I said, you don't want AI to replace your brains. So make sure that if you are using it to do your research and all that, is fine. But remember that in your exam room, AI will not be there because your laptop or your phone will not be there, which means it can only help you research, but you have to do the work yourself. So that's the most important thing you have to remember.
Okay, Marvin.
Hello. All right. So thank you. When I was making my presentation, I spoke about a young lady called Radia. So when the lady came to ask questions about what persons with disabilities can do, I knew. So one of the things that I do in addition to school and running the delivery service is that I do a lot of advocacy works to support persons living with disabilities. This is voluntary. I do it on my own will. And I want to answer this, but Martha, with your permission, if you would allow me, Radia made it to this place on her own. I was here when she called me that, Marvin, I'm at King David, and she's here. I think when she walks to this place and she speaks to you for 2 minutes, you would see for yourself and you would understand what persons with disabilities can do. And from here, if you have such persons around you, you begin to support them, because we can't talk about inclusion without thinking about persons with disabilities. So Radia, if you're here, kindly come forward.
Please help her, or she can come on her own. Yes. Let's clap for her as she comes. Okay.
All right, so this is Radia, and she's been my PMNT in school for a year and a half. She lives with cerebral palsy, but I would hand over the microphone to her, and then Radia, in 2 minutes, talk to them, okay?
Okay. All right, my name is Radia. A student from UDI, and opening development education in I have been an advocate in protecting living with disability on social media and then radio platforms as well. And now I have come to that I want to register my organization for protecting disability. Not just for the advocate, but I want to tell them that I'm in that. So they can also do more than that. I'm
They
not
can
just
also
a
do more than that.
Yes. I'm not just a
Please, let's give her a standing ovation. Please, let's give her a wow. Come on. Let's go. Oh, I didn't hear you. Let's go again. The last one.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Radia.
All right. So, in a minute, some of you might have struggled to hear what she was saying. That's because if you live with cerebral palsy, you have difficulty with your motor functions. So, your speech, your movement, it's a difficulty. But I asked her to come here so that you would see that despite this challenge, she doesn't actually rely on people's support to do everything for her. So she walked to this place and she even spoke, except that it is not audible. Just to add to it, in my speech, I told you that what we need to do as young people to inspire inclusion is to begin to shine our little lights. And so Radia has been advocating on radio, on TV. I've been with her a number of times. And what this has done is that a friend of mine called Inoki in Accra, he's also living with cerebral palsy. He got an opportunity with Google. Google traveled all the way from Accra to come to Tamale just to make sure that Radia participates in the research to help people with speech difficulties. And so if you have such persons, tell them to start to show what they can do. And the moment they do that, a lot of support will come from all over the world for them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll take 5 more questions. I think, yes, please come this way. You come so that I think we have one person here. Quickly.
There's one here.
Okay, so you start.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bata, thank you for the wonderful job. I think I've heard your name in so many occasions, but I haven't met you personally. My question goes to Mr. Jeremiah and possible the entire high table.
That's your question.
Personally, there is something that keeps worrying me. Every single time I heard people talking about success, and I keep asking myself, what is success? And I continue to seek people's opinion about what success is all about. So I want to use this opportunity to Mr. Jeremiah and other speakers for them to define what success is all about for the purpose of clarity. And my second question goes to Ma'am from the MTN, both of you. You spoke about talent. So I want to know, how can one discover his or her talent? In many cases, people go to schools, get the degrees, the diplomas, and all the certificates that we can talk about. But we keep on chanting into their ears to say that people need to have their talent. So I want to know, how can one discover his or her talent? Thank you so much.
Okay, I think someone is behind you. We'll take that and we'll let all the students.
Thank you very much. My name is Baba Mohammed Isahak, a representative from Girls Empowerment Mission Ghana. My question has to do with, we talk about unlocking one's potentials. And my question is, how can one overcome his or her fear in unlocking his potentials?
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you were sitting. Please, quickly, once
Thank
you
you.
come here, you just...
Thank you very much. His question is just related to what I want to ask, but I want to ask it in a better way. Madam, please, I want you to respond to the question in respect of fear and anxiety. Among us as youth, our greatest challenge is fear and anxiety. Please, kindly differentiate these two and help us to overcome it by your advice. Thank you.
The difference between fear and anxiety and how we can. So we'll come here, you ask the questions, and then they answer all together. We don't have a lot of time.
Good morning once again. I'm called Lokman. I'm a grade student from LAMTech. Before I start, I want to give great thanks to all of you for your great presentation. My question goes to the madam who is sitting in the middle. Madam, you were saying that your sister come and talk to you about his friend. But when you were giving us your speech, you didn't tell us what motivates your sister's friend to go ahead. Can you kindly tell us? And another question is go to the master, who is sitting at the left side.
Okay.
He was saying that the last time we went and they were going to a room, was one man stopped them and drive him away. But you didn't continue to tell us. You were saying that they gave you opportunity to come somewhere, but you didn't continue. You just
I want
stopped
to
there.
hear the story or the. Okay, thank you. He will try to with the story. Next person.
Good afternoon. Okay, so my question goes to Mr. Marvin. You said you run a delivery company and you are a student. So I would want to know how you are able to cooperate with your lectures and then your business.
Okay.
Please, my question goes to Miss Mata Annabella. You said you were 19 years when you started your foundation, and this is a motivation to us. And I know there is this one thing that you wish you know as at when you started the foundation. And I want to plead on you to share it with us because I know it will help us as young people aspiring to greatness. Thank you.
Okay. Last question. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's it. Let's pick the question there. Marvin, you want to start? Then we come this way. Okay. Okay.
All right, so before I answer my first question, I'm just going to teach you guys something, okay? So there's information and there's insight. Try as much as possible that you don't ask people questions for information. So for instance, there was a question about the difference between fear and anxiety. You don't have to ask us. There are so many channels that you can ask this question. You can ask online, on a dictionary, ChatGPT. Ask questions about insight, things you can easily get anywhere else, right? So ask questions that require insight, and the things that require information, Google them. You can find the answers to them. Good. So my first question was about the definition for success. Success is like beauty. It lies in the eyes of the beholder. Everybody and what they are looking for. Everybody and what they are pursuing. So you have your own definition of what will look like success to you. For somebody, becoming famous to them is success. For another person, being able to build a house for their family is success. For another person, becoming a millionaire is success. So success is beauty. It lies in the eyes of the beholder. You must define what success means to you. I want to be rich, but when I become rich, it won't be success to me. I want the work I do to affect the destiny of Ghana. That will be success to me. So everybody must find their own definition of success and aspire to it. That's what I would say. Overcoming fear in unlocking potential. I think one of the primary things that you can do to overcome fear is to study, to read, to research. The more you read stuff, the more confident you become. But don't just end at reading. Start taking small steps. So if your goal is to become a public speaker, aspiring to speak at Youth Empowerment Summit cannot be your small step. This has about 3,000 people here. You'll be intimidated. You'll be afraid. So start with small steps. Start with 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, and then grow your confidence as you go. So start with acquiring knowledge and then take small steps and practice, and then you push on as you go. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'll build on what Boabing said. There was a question about nurturing your talent, and I'll use myself as an example. So somewhere around 2020, I had a difficult circumstance in my life, and COVID also happened, so we happened to have been home. And I was always indoors trying to think through what to do. And there was a day, I remember I had read the book of Revelations about 4 times. I was trying to find a beginning and an end to life, because at that point, a lot of things were very dim. So we all couldn't figure out, where things were going. And there was a day that I woke up and something told me about garden in the Garden of Eden, and in the end. So I started, at the time I liked flowers, but I didn't really, cultivate the habit of nurturing them and all of that. So there was a day I started and I wanted to have a garden. So I used to go around, I would talk to my friends, and I would say, oh, I found this flower, let's go here, let's go there. So I was trying to keep myself energetic out of the difficult circumstance that I was in at the time. And eventually, I managed to actually create a small garden. And I remember I have two friends who today, they own flower shops, because I remember I was telling them, oh, let's go here, let's go see this. But they were always very hesitant. You and this your flower thing. And over time, they realized that there was some point of escape that it gave them into all of the things that were happening in the environment. So they are actually making money out of it. And it was just recently I also thought to myself, I've been doing this for some time, and I think what I want to do now is to help create beautiful spaces for people. So it goes back to the point of acquiring skills. I went online and I said, AI, I'm looking for a tool that can help me create gardens. So I remember last week I have a friend who has just built a house and called me and said, I want you to come and set up my garden for me. I really didn't know what I was going to do, but I just went online and I looked for tools. So I started moving things around, and we created something beautiful which has started. And I know inside of me, there's something that tells me, my husband keeps saying that you have to take this thing serious, you have to take this thing serious. But again, to the point that discovering your talent, sometimes it comes out of an incident, or sometimes it comes out of your own reflection that tells you that there's just something inside of you that makes you very comfortable around one particular activity or something. So focus on that thing and gain knowledge, because what I'm also trying to do now is to enroll in a program. I want to be good at it. I don't want to just be using my interests and my feelings to have a go at it, because there are people who have gone ahead of me. So I'm beginning to look for programs that will help me to be better at designing gardens, designing interior spaces. So my answer would be, have a reflection. There's something inside of you, or there's something that's very easy, that it comes as second nature to you. Last week I walked into a place, there was this woman there who I'd never met before, and I walked into a garden. I said, oh, you have a beautiful garden. Then we started talking. We spoke I realized it was 45 minutes, we were still talking, and I didn't know her from anywhere. It was because my eyes lit up the moment I got into a garden and we started connecting. So there's something that really excites you. There's something inside of you that when you reflect on it, it will come out. But again, gain more skills, do it well, and who knows, it will be your second or third career or whatever it is. Then you asked about Derek, what inspired him. And I'll just pick two words out of the first quote that he gave me. He says, embrace optimism and humility to gain wisdom. He was humble enough to not coil in whatever situation that he found himself in and come out of it and say that whatever it is, if it's to clean, whatever, I will start from here. But he also said gain wisdom, because when you are in that situation and you get into the pity party mode, you'd stay there. But you have to gain wisdom and improve and get better and move on out of that situation. So those are the two key things I picked from what he said, propelled him to do what he did. Thank you.
Okay. Lady George.
I think there was something about fear and anxiety.
Yes.
Okay, so fear usually is a response to an immediate threat. Fear is, if you are afraid of public speaking, as soon as you are called to speak, you realize that you begin to panic. If you are afraid of snakes and a snake shows up, you'll be afraid. So fear is an immediate response to something you are afraid of. Okay, anxiety is a perceived threat. They are all emotions and they are all connected in a way. But anxiety is something that has not happened, but you perceive that if it happens, you'll be worried about it. So people who are anxious tend to suffer from a long-term fear of something. Okay, so you are afraid of something. You are afraid of failing of your exams. It's a mental thing. You haven't failed, but you have that anxiety. And every day as you sleep, you turn the fear into anxiety. So anxiety becomes more of a long-term thing. That is why in mental health, people are treated for anxiety because it becomes an emotional disorder. But fear is something that you are afraid of it. You see it, you respond. And once the thing is not there, it goes back. So that's the difference between fear and anxiety.
Okay. Marvin, how do you combine lectures with...
Thank you. Somehow I believe this will come up. So a lot of us here are in high school. You start to feel the pressure if you get to the university and you don't have a very solid home to support you, which happened to be my case. But just to encourage you, I started with a diploma, same circumstances, working, schooling, and at the time of graduation, I made distinction. So distinction is like a first class when you're doing diploma. And I was doing it whilst I was working. So it means that it is possible. And here's how I did it. I've never lost track of where I'm coming from. I've never lost track of where I'm coming from. That is my primary motivation. I know if I don't do well here, I'm going back to nothing. So that is always there. And then I go to work, I put in all the energy because I need to make money. I come back, I also put in all the energy because I must succeed. I don't want to get, say, B's or C's. No, there's an A, I want to get it. So same energy for my learning, same energy for my work. And that is how come so far I've been able to achieve the little things that. So when you get to the university and you face these circumstances, just remember, whatever energies you need to put in school, do it. Work, do it. And don't lose focus of where you're coming from. I believe it will be fine. Okay. Auntie Gina says I should talk about how...
Lady George.
Hey, sorry. How I've been combining the two. So, this is how my regular day looks like. On campus, my day begins with work. Usually I have like a lecture a day. So when I get up, I'm working. But when it's time for class, I close. I go to class, then I come back, I come to continue. You understand? So I don't miss lectures unless something comes up. If it is time for class, I close, then I go. I go and I sit and I study. Then when I close, I come back to working. That's how I do it. So if you miss too many classes, it becomes very difficult to catch up when examinations are approaching. Yeah.
And the question about what I wish I knew when I started is the fact that not everybody would believe in my dream. Even people that tell you that, okay, I see a potential in you, not all of them is going to believe in your dream when you start thinking big. When I wanted to start the Youth Empowerment Summit and I told someone that I want to bring 2,000 people together, they laughed at me. They said even people older than you can't do it. How much more youth is girl? And these are people that probably at times in my life have also motivated me or mentored me. So I wish that I knew that people will not believe in my dream so that my heart will not be broken anytime they said no to me. So once you want to start something, a lot of people are going to say no to you, especially when they see that you are moving at a faster pace than they imagined. They will motivate you, all right, but it's like you come to them and they feel that you are doing greater than, it's like they put you at a certain level. They feel that you need to use 5 years to achieve something because probably they took that number of years. But God is probably giving you speed to use 2 years to achieve the same thing. So I wish I knew that not everybody would support me, not everybody would believe in me, so that when they say no to me, it wouldn't affect me not to even do better. So we'll take our final words on most of the questions that have come in here. So I'll start with Marvin, then we come this way. Your final words on anything in about seconds.
Hello. Okay, so dear friends, it's been wonderful having this opportunity to talk to all of you, and I really thank Martha for this. What I want to leave you with is that do not let your background become the barrier that prevents you from reaching for greatness. Auntie Ruth told us the story. Lady Ruth. So she told us the story of Derek. If Derek seems too far away, look at Marvin, because we are almost the same. and I'm here with you in Tamale. So mostly I write a lot. I like to write everyday stuff on my Facebook and etc. So let's connect and we'll learn from there. Thank you.
Okay. Lady George?
Yes, thank you. I think it's been a great time and a time well spent. So just to summarize, we've heard everything. Let's not this be like an event that you attend, when you go back you forget. Make sure that everything we've said here, you commit it into memory. And you remember that, no matter what your disability is, there's something you can do. And then you also need different levels of skills to be able to deliver exceptional wealth and to make yourself happy. And then I spoke about standouts. We all have something that we are good at. Let's explore and stand out.
Okay.
For me, it's be an overcomer. The over and come. So you're coming over it. Whatever circumstances that you're faced with. From, like I said, from the time you're born to the time you die, there's so many situations that have the potential to break you or make you reverse from the dream or the focus that you have. But come over it. So be an overcomer and always keep your focus. Thank you.
Okay.
God blesses the work of your hands, not your empty hands. God blesses the work of your hands, not your empty hands. God blesses the work of your hands, not your empty hands. God bless you.
Okay, so it means that you have to try to do something. Don't sit down and say that God should bless you. Thank you so much. If you can take Rashid, if you can bring the pulpit back. There was this organization I really want to acknowledge. It was deliberate. I didn't mention them earlier. Songtaba, even though that is where our chairperson is from. But Songtaba has been a great support system to a lot of young people and some of the projects that they run. And then this is the second time they are coming on board to sponsor or be a partner to the Youth Empowerment Summit. But I know Hajia might not know that I really follow her a lot and I'm learning so much from her. She's not just our chairperson, but I want to really encourage most of us to do well, to follow Songtaba and the activities that they do as well. And I was hoping to see Dr. Daniel Opoku Jemfi. I thought YD would have done that. Savannah Opticals, if you want to check all your eyes, check your eyes. If you have any issues with your eyes, make sure that you go to Savannah Opticals. I believe YD would do a better introduction on Savannah Opticals for us. I think that they've mentioned all the organizations. There are times that we usually lose a lot of data, so we want to encourage, if you haven't registered, please do well to write your name at the registration desk. We need that data. We need that data as much as possible. So in wrapping up, MCs, yes, we want to say a very big thank you to all our speakers that are here today, to our partners that have come, and to all the youth groups. I believe we have acknowledged all of you, but if we haven't, please do forgive us. It was an oversight. And especially to the teachers once again for bringing the students here, and to all our sponsors, to everyone. I may not be able to call your name directly to say thank you, but for you being here today, I believe that it's been a great time having us here. So, YAD. All right, thank you so much, and then let's enjoy the rest of the program. Even though we are done, the team, I believe, have begun serving the refreshments. Please do not rush. With the students, your refreshments have been put in your baskets. So once you go into your basket, you have your refreshments. And so please don't rush. Those in the youth groups, I believe the team will still sort you out. But if genuinely you haven't had refreshment, just go to the registration desk and tell them, and the hospitality unit will sort you out. We have enough for all of you so that we do not get the things scattered. Thank you.
All right, so many thanks, Miss Martha Nabila. All right, so right about now, we'll quickly call our partner, Inspired to Act, to kindly have a brief word with us. So please, with a round of applause, let's welcome Madam.
Okay, so while they are coming, some of the students wanted to ask questions. We do apologize for the time. So the speakers will be around to take pictures and to network with us. You can just contact them and ask the questions. Please, quickly. Thank you.
So please, kindly spare us some minutes as we get well engaged. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to write on the existing protocols. I extend a warm greetings from Alhaj Rashid, the team lead for Inspired to Act, and congratulate you all for being part of this historic event. Youth Empowerment Summit 2024 under the theme Inspire Inclusion to support youth participation. It's an excellent platform that ITA is proud to be part of this. As in our thematic areas under the transparency and accountability, youth participation is very key in decision making. It is under this strong base that NORSAC has funded ITA to run a project called Heard Everywhere and Represented Daily. This has to empower youth and increase their knowledge in policies, and then with resources for them to advocate and see themselves in the decision-making table. It is our belief that with the right skills and tools, the youth will be able to voice out their problems effectively, make their voices heard, and also demand for inclusion in governance processes as we all hold duty bearers accountable. I would like to congratulate everyone and our dear partner, Martha Inspires, for making us part of this program. Congratulations once again to our dear friend Martha Anabila and all Martha Inspires for your passion in improving the lives of the youth and children in Tamale and in the country at large. Your reading clinics and other youth child-centered programs are perfect platforms to reach the youth with information and guidance that they need. This is very important. Like the old saying goes, cast them very long and they shall ever be yours forever. Congratulations to Martha Inspires. Our doors are always open for your partnership. And to everyone, we are very proud to be part of this program. Thank you very much.
All right, so many thanks to our partners, Inspired to Act, for that enlightening session. So let me quickly acknowledge Mr. John N. Ali, aka Sir Grandpa. I hear you are the principal of Faith Hill Complex School, and you were one of the judges for the Martha Inspires quiz competition as well. Hello, please, could we kindly tone down the noise? All right, and also to say a big thank you to some of the organizations and youth groups. We left out Red Cross. So Red Cross, we really appreciate you immensely. And just as Martha requested earlier, Savannah Opticals has also been very phenomenal over the years. And if you're in Tamale, Savannah is the ultimate when it comes to quality comprehensive eye examination, glaucoma assessment. There's a whole lot right there. So just make a move there. They're on the top floor. Sabon Kudi Plaza opposite Viari. Savannah Opticals, better vision, perfect look. So that will be it. Sure, at this juncture we can get straight and have our chairperson give her remarks. So with a round of applause, let's welcome Hajia as she comes to round it all up for us for this August occasion. So, Ajay, over to you.
Hello. Are we inspired? I can't feel the voice. Are we inspired? Thank you very much. All too soon, we have come to the end of our Youth Empowerment Summit 2024. And I'm happy that you were able to see this through with us. I just want to make a few highlights, also recognizing the speakers and then giving a few highlights of, the points that they have made. Let me also say that I have my board chairperson here in the person of Madam Mariama Mahama. And so she's my boss. And to tell Haji Alima that she shouldn't run away from being my boss and say, I am. All right, so we have our first speaker, Marvin, who spoke a little about our team, Inspiring Inclusion to support the youth participation. And he left us with two key highlights, that we need to find the strength within ourselves. And in doing that, we need to shine our little lights. And then also uphold standards of excellence and responsibilities, especially as young people. Then we have our speaker, Boabin, who took us through the 5 levels of becoming, very economically empowered, let me say. And of all the 5, he made mention of the fact that majority of people are around the raw strength and those who have received certificates or training. And also ask us to try to go beyond this first 2 levels, because as young people, we need to aspire for greater change. And I can see that we are all yearning towards the 5th stage, which is robust or strong business. And so he inspired us also to read widely and invest in our knowledge. For Ajay Alima, she talked about the spaces that, we have, especially in inclusive programming, especially about one of her very programs that I'm very passionate about, that is the Female Academy. It's also a leadership program. And we want to say kudos to you and to say we are all very proud to be associated with that academy. Our third speaker, Lady George, brought so much euphoria into the room and made her presentation very participatory. And for her, it is important for young people to stand out. And we saw the models which she demonstrated in standing out. But for me, what has caught my attention is one that has to do with daring to be different. And for me, daring to be different is what we need to really take us home. Because in this space, you just need to couch yourself. You just need to show that you are different. And you must demonstrate that in the skills you acquire in the various speeches as we are told. And so let's dare ourselves to be different. Yes, we are all students, but I want to be that different student who wants to come up, who wants to share, who wants to do things differently. Thank you, Madam, for sharing with us all of those beautiful words. And our fourth speaker, Madam Ruth, talked about overcoming who an overcomer is and used the story of Derek. I got a bit emotional, and I saw that Marvin also associated himself with the story of Derek. And I was saying that probably there are thousands of Derek out there. If you find yourself who think that you are unlucky because you have had 1 or 2 setbacks, let us hope that the story of Derek motivates us to stand out and dare ourselves. And then also, she encouraged us to have faith and embrace optimism and humility so that we're able to gain wisdom in our endeavors. And then we have our beautiful Martha, who came and wrap it all with our guest speakers in a question and answer forum. And Martha says, if she can, why not you? And I think that is very powerful. If I can, then you can also. Thank you very much for that motivation, Martha. And so, I do not want to waste our time. I think that we've all been sitting for long. And I just want to say thank you for having faith in me. And I'm hoping that I was able to chair this to a successful end. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hajia. I didn't want to come back again, but I forgot to do something very important. We had some judges who helped us to mark the script for the essay competition. Mr. Ali is here. Please, can you stand and give us a wave? Madam Khadija, there's another Mr. Ala Hassan. Hey, my team, please remind me, Mr. Charles of IBM and J, is he here? Mr. Charles of IBM and J is part. Then we have another Mr. Alas, and I think he couldn't make it. Madam Khadija, please give us a wave. Mr. Ali, give us a wave. Mr. Ali, thank you so much. They helped us to mark all the 172 scripts from the first stage to the second stage to the third stage and then final stage. Thank you so much and God bless you. By 2 to 3 months, we'll announce the opening for the second edition of the Martha Inspires Essay Competition, and we hope that you will duly participate. Thank you so much to all of you, to Hajia, to all of you. There's no time, so I can't really say a lot right now. Thank you so much. MCs.
And everything displays the wonders of your grace. You took my sin, my guilt, my shame, and you gave me your name. We go sing hallelujah. I God of the universe that you made, and everything.
Unfortunately, my co-MC can't dance, so if we have to dance to save our lives, I'll win. Please, Jam Ghana, EMCEP, and Yopac Africa. Please, you are needed at the administration for your snack, so kindly see them for it.
All right, so right about now, we'll be climaxing the whole event. Just as in the creation story, it began with a prayer, and as we wrap up also, there's the need for a prayer. And so Minister Portia will help us. So now, yeah, sorry, but Pacho, kindly wrap up for us with a word of prayer. So please, let's be in the
mood of prayer. Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you for the opportunity to be inspired by your people in the name of the Lord Jesus. We thank you that everything we have learned here, we have the might, we have all that it requires to make it to come to fruition in the name of Jesus. I thank you for every student and every organization represented here. Father, even as we move from this place to our various homes, we pray you take each and every one of us home safely. Those going to school, we pray there's safety on the roads for them. And when we get to our places of destination, we shall not forget to give you thanks and praise. Thank you for YES 2024, and we know 2025 will be much more bigger. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, so it's been very great. It's been exciting. It's been captivating, sharing your company, and thanks a million for joining us. My name is Yao Eji Danko. It is my claim to fame. All right, so we are taking photographs on the stage, the high table, or the dignitaries. Yeah, so the ushers will kindly help us move this.
Matter Inspires Foundation presents Youth Empowerment Summit 2024. This year's event is on the theme Inspire Inclusion to support youth participation. Join us on Saturday, August 17, 2024 at the Sanctuary of Wind and Fire AG Auditorium opposite King David Junction, 50 meters off the Kanvali to Naili Road, Tamale. Speakers: Marvin Selassie Akwanyi, student advocate and entrepreneur; Jeremiah Boabeng, CEO, Group Boabeng; Ruth Badu, Senior Manager, API Partnerships, MTN Group FinTech; Georgina Asari Fiagbenu, Senior Manager, Corporate Communications, MTN Ghana; Chairperson, Hajia Lamnatu Adam, Executive Director, Song Taba; Lead Sponsor, MTN Ghana, supported by Boltec, Delex Finance, Boabeng Books, Trillium Industrial Company Limited, Glow Events, Trisco, Bell Beverages, Indomie. Partner organizations: Inspire to Act, Swida GH, Ghana SRHR Alliance for Young People, We North, Asset Ghana. Media partners: Truth TV and Wind and Fire Media. Yes 2024 is hosted by Miss Martha Anabila, founder and CEO, Matter Inspires Foundation. This event will be live on Facebook at Matter Inspires Foundation and live on Truth TV at 9:30 a.m. on 17th August 2024. All youth are encouraged to participate in this event.